And we are back with Darrell, Gurney, author of Headhunters Revealed. So, well, you talk about getting in the database. How do you get your resume in the database for the Headhunter?
Well, first step is find the recruiters that manage what you do. Send your resume in both an attached Word document and in a text document. Okay.
That was interesting. I hadn't heard that before. Send it both ways.
Yeah, you want it in a text document because now recruiters run, and most HR departments run their systems based on keyword searchable databases. So what you want to do is you want to get in that database. You want to have a resume that's keyword searchable too. You want to have all the jargon and the phrases and the words that relate to your field. And what you do is you submit that to the recruiter. They're going to immediately be able to tell if they can help you or not, based on your field.
You said you would scan a resume, in like 3 to 5 seconds or something?
Oh, yeah.
And
a recruiter will spend at the most 5 seconds to look at a resume to tell if you're somebody they might be able to help. So they're going to be able to look at your stability. They're going to look at the field that you're in. Have you looked solid? Do you look like one of the top 10 to 15%? Because that's really the level of people that the recruiters are looking for. And if they might be able to help you, then they'll want to be able to put you in their database. They won't necessarily call you right away because they don't have anything to tell you about it.
Well, and one reason when you say send it, in the email and also as an attachment, people don't realize, it takes work to get it in the database, and the harder it is to get it in the database, you're kind of lowering the barrier there so that it's more likely to end up in...
Exactly.
For instance, you said the worst thing is to mail it, right?
Right. Well, today, no one would mail a resume. If you mail a resume, it's just...
Throw it in the garbage. Right?
Yeah, well, I was through the recruiting, I was in the recruiting industry whenever the fax came in, and then whenever scannable OCR database, OCR means optical character recognition. And so a recruiter would take your mailed in resume, put it on a screen, and get a picture of it, and then they'd fix it all, but no one's going to go to that trouble anymore. So you just want to have it in text form that they can pop in right away.
And so even faxing it can be a problem?
Oh, yeah. Faxing, mailing, just...
Okay, don't even do
it's not cool today.
Now, when you mentioned the keywords, I wanted to kind of just elaborate on that, because I think that people may not... you have the idea, okay, they type in the words, but, it's sort of like Google where you make a comparison where people just load the website, maybe adult sites with like XXX or something, or whatever the case may be. Presumably that's not on your resume.
Right.
Probably not the right strategy, But
depends on the recruiter you work with.
Yeah, and the industry, But so how do you load it with the keywords without, how do you do it effectively in the right way instead of just...
Well, what you want to do is, first off, know the words that are relevant to your field. You should already be aware of them, certain certifications, certain systems that you've worked with, certain softwares. And you want to make sure that is embedded in your resume in the context of the resume. See, in the old days, whenever keywords like meta tags or whatever, on the web, people would just put a block of all of those words, right? So that they would be seen.
Slap them in there.
Right. And so sometimes people would do that with resumes in the early days. But the thing is now is that these keyword searchable databases are so smart that you just want to have the words in there, and so that when somebody looks at it, they can see where you did that. Where did you utilize that skill? Where did you utilize that software?
In fact, you gave the example that I think for Sony Pictures, you said, well, you can't assume the computer is going to know, because the computer won't, that that's entertainment.
Exactly.
You have to use the word entertainment in the resume.
Exactly. Yeah. So go for specifics when you can, and have broader terms. For example, one time a major national insurance company contacted me. They wanted me to fill a few HR manager roles, and they were looking for people who had change management background. Now, this was in the mid-'90s, and that was a term that had just started to come around. I didn't even know the term myself personally. I hadn't come across it. But I went to my database, and I searched change management, and a lot of really sharp HR professionals came up. They had it in there, and then I was able to call them, for those positions.
And what is change management? Does that mean more?
Well, change management, this particular insurance company had gone through a major legal thing, and so they were changing the whole corporate culture. So it was like, we're going to do things different around.
Fired the good guy, brought in a new guy.
Right.
No more con games and scams.
That's why everything's so honest now. Right.
Well, and speaking of honesty, you say, though, that you should really have a good, open, honest relationship with the headhunter, too, as far as... Now, should you tell them, look, I hate my boss, or I hate my job, or, I just got to get out, or, I mean, how honest is too honest, or.
Well, yeah, you can tell the recruiter any of that. I mean, because their whole objective in their relationship with you is to place you if they can.
Okay.
Now, if you're negative,
they're not going to think, okay, we can't.
Well, if you're negative Nelly, and you're just,
hate the job, hate the company, hate the weather, hate the people.
It's like you're not going to give a good vibe for their office, right? So, but the point is, you can be open with them, and what there is to do is to find the recruiters that you trust too, because part of it is looking to see, is this person going to be looking out for my best interest? Now, the thing to know is they're paid by the company, so they're not paid by the job seeker. They're going to look for the best interests of the company, yet they want to have good relationships with candidates too. Over my career, I placed one person like 5-6 times,
wow.
and I didn't go pull him out of a place I had placed him, but if he came to me and he said, hey, I'm going to get out of here, somebody's going to place me, do you want to help?
Yeah.
So the point is it has to go both ways.
Well, in a way, it's kind of nice that the company's paying instead of you, right, as the candidate.
Well, absolutely. And at the same time, though, that's why I wrote the book, because over the years, people would call up and say, you don't call me, you don't talk to me. They thought I was supposed to be their career coach or their career counselor. And so the thing is, I wanted people to know from the perspective of a headhunter how they operate, what's important to them, so that candidates would know how to best work with them. They're not there to hold your hand necessarily. They're going to take care of you because they need you for their clients, but at the same time, their clients' needs comes first. They're not going to be calling you when they're looking to fill a position if you're not right for it.
We'll be right back with Darrell Gurney.